to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:03. Welcome to the Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. Lock Shop brought to you by Play Alberta. If you've not yet downloaded the Play Alberta app, please do. And check out playalberta.ca. Click on EST Specials to find everything that we got going on with you over there. I've already got a few that are tossed up today. And you can go check those out as well. Huss is going to join me from Winnipeg Sports Talk. We're going to dive into, we're going to talk a little bit about that CFL fantasy meeting that Maddie and I had yesterday. We're going to talk about some possible player prop options this upcoming weekend in the National Football League. And obviously, we'll take a look at the NHL slate as well. We've got two guys in the goalie coming up from noon until 1 today. Lots to get to. I rank the top 10 duos, the top 10 1-2 punches in the NHL since the beginning of the 1980s. Hey, that's going to be fun. I got 10 of them. Came together pretty easy.
Can I guess one?
Sure.
Oh, wait. Top 10 duos.
Top 10 1-2 punches, 1990 on.
Forsberg, Sakic.
That's in there, yeah.
Federal Yzerman.
Yeah, that's in there. You're missing like the top 5, though, so.
What's that?
You're missing like the top 5.
Well, since when, sorry?
Since 1980.
Oh, I mean, who would you put with? Lemieux, Yager.
Yeah.
Gretzky, Messier.
I put Gretzky, Messier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1-2 punch, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily like a duo like
Connor, Leon have to be there.
Connor and Leon are in there. Yeah, I don't, because you're going to get the whole list. Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll get to it coming up on two guys and a goalie. We'll take a look at what's going on down at the rink as well. Hired or fire it. That's coming up. We'll talk a little bit about Sid's legacy. Stuart Skinner's been in fuego. Is it in fuego? In fuego. Like very hot for his last 7 games.
In fuego.
In fuego, I think it is.
Just say on fuego.
On fuego.
That means on fire.
Okay. What's the other one say? In
because
fire?
In fuego doesn't really make sense
okay,
in Spanish.
so on fuego.
On fuego.
He's been on fuego for his last 7 games. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. Kulak will be back as well. You know what I like seeing? I like going to Play Alberta and seeing on the images page, Leon Draisaitl and Dustin Wolf. Draisaitl and Wolf are like Play Alberta ambassadors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They signed Draisaitl and Dustin Wolf, which is, I think, pretty good idea.
Fascinating.
In both of those markets.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, they're on the platform as ambassadors now, which is kind of cool. All right, if you go click on EST Specials right now, here's what we've got up for you so far. Early bird bet from this morning: Oilers to win. Connor McDavid 2 points, Sidney Crosby with a point plus 241, and then I just threw up Dusty's play of the day over there as well. Connor McDavid with a power play point tonight. It was minus 110. I said, hey, let's boost this to plus 100. So we got it at plus 100. So just a McDavid power play point tonight's plus 100.
Fifth best PK, the Pens.
Doesn't matter to me.
No, I know.
Yeah.
They didn't score. Well, they only scored 1 goal last. It's been a couple games since they scored on the power play. No, they scored in St. Louis.
They must have scored against St. Louis. But here's the thing. I mean, at plus 100 to get a power play point from Connor McDavid the odds are, it's pretty good. That's a pretty good shot that I think that happens tonight. And if you look at their games against Pittsburgh, they've won 8 of 9.
Yeah.
In their 8 wins, they scored 4 goals and more in every single one of them. And in the loss, they scored 3. Like the Oilers are going to score 3 or 4 goals tonight, I think. So,
and they're probably feeling a little down after especially when their coach said they felt like it was going to be easy against the Devils.
They should show up tonight.
They should show up tonight, 100%. And they get Shelovs.
Yeah, and outside of that playoffs, they've got the Shelovs okay, right? So we'll get into that. Anyway, those are the 2 plays we have up right now. Huss and I will put some stuff together. It is the early bird bet. McDavid to get 2 points, Crosby with a point, Oilers to win. That's plus 241. And then Dusty's play of the day, Connor McDavid, power play point. That is plus 100. We'll dive into the whole NHL slate as we work our way through the show as well. Like I said, we'll get to that CFL fantasy update as well. And, I've been kind of diving in and around the internet, looking at different player props for the AFC and NFC championship games, and I found an interesting list of 5 from Sports Illustrated. So we're going to dive into their 5 top player props for the weekend as well and get Huss's thoughts on those 5 and kind of throw them around a little bit for the AFC and NFC championship games. We have a big Super Bowl party coming up. I don't know if it's not sold out because I guess it would be fully reserved. Right, you're not paying for the table, so it's not technically sold out. But you might, like, if you plan on coming to Selly Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road, the last 2 Super Bowl, the only 2 Super Bowl parties we've done there have been absolutely like to capacity. So if you want to snag a table, you should probably fire them an email to get that done, because the last thing you want to do is roll in and then you get there for the party and we're sitting here going, oh, there's no tables. Well, we've been telling you for a month to book ahead, snag a table. If you would like to get a table to the Super Bowl party, edm.centurysports@cnty.com. That's edm.centurysports@cnty.com. Email, it'll either be Jennifer or Renee, who will get back to you. edm.centurysports@cnty.com. We'd love to have you for the Super Bowl party. It should be an excellent time. All right, let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk and, of course, co-host of The Lock Shop. Joins us today. Huss, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Not much. Good times with LTE yesterday.
Yeah, how was that? He said he was planning on talking curling.
We did get into a little bit of curling. Scotties are up right now. It's Carrie. My ride or die, Carrie Anderson.
She's your girl.
Even money to win. So it's basically Carrie versus the field at the Scotties. But we went through lots of offerings out there right now. That'll get going. That should be a lot of fun. And funny story last night. We talked football for a long time. Then we got into some of the curling, and then just at the end of the program, I threw out a parlay and bet it.
Okay.
And then whatever, I had a bunch of stuff to do and I was paying attention. I had the Pittsburgh game on. I was driving, so I was listening to Steinberg and the boys in Calgary, listening to that game. So finally I get to my end destination last night about 9:30, 9:45.
Okay.
I've trained them very well. I walk in, we've got Utah, Philly on one TV, Vancouver, Washington, and Islanders, Seattle, and then one TV of the tennis, which I also got into a little. That Aussie Open is the best. You're just getting going at 10 p.m. for all you lock shoppers that like a little overnight action. But I was watching this, and I'm like, oh, well, I've got the Islanders, and I've got the Utah. And Utah was down like 3-0 and then 4-2. All of a sudden, Utah comes back and wins, and I'm like, oh, what a bust. The Islanders aren't going to get it done in Seattle. And then there's nothing better than this. Popped into the old account. Said, wait a second. That's a lot more than I expected. I forgot I didn't have the Islanders. I had Detroit.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was Detroit, Pittsburgh, Utah.
And Detroit won in overtime. And you didn't even feel the sweat.
I didn't. I thought it was a loss because I was paying attention to the game that I had erroneously thought was on the parlay. So I don't know if anyone got on that one last night, but that was a nice little 5-1 winner.
Yesterday, our early bird bet, we went to the NBA and just took the 4 heaviest favorites and put them on a ticket, and it actually cashed last night. So it worked. I think it was as chalky as you get. Like, it was minus 400, minus 420, minus 550, minus 575 or something. We got it boosted up. Took a little bit of a boost, but we got it to plus 135. And then it was a no sweater. Like, the Knicks beat the Nets by 50 something last night. It was 122 to 66 or something like that. So just we don't bet a lot of NBA, but it cashed yesterday.
Did all those teams cover?
The one team didn't cover. There was one team that didn't cover because Eric was going through the scores today, and I was like, we would have covered just the spread. We would have covered just the spread. We would have covered just the spread. But who was the team that didn't cover the spread last night? Pistons, Pelicans. I don't think they covered. Thunder covered. Knicks covered. Celtics covered. But the Pistons, I don't think would have covered the spread. I think it was 9.5 or 10. They won by 8. But anyway, yeah, it was nice to hit that. Hey, Haas. So I wasn't here yesterday. Maddie and I had that big CFL fantasy meeting. And I
had no idea what.
Did Eric tell you why we weren't on?
No, I
okay.
just got it.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was recording with Sarah Orleski for our show.
Yeah.
And then I jumped on right afterwards. And I'm like, oh, there's Eric. And then I checked my phone and realized, Matt had sent an email that, hey, they were doing something. So,
yeah.
So
we were Lucas from the CFL had been emailing about setting up a meeting, and they gave us a couple times, and the one that worked for them the best happened to be 11 o'clock our time, and I was like, well, that's both of us on the Lock Shop having to do this meeting, but so Eric stepped in, and I'm sure it was great. But so Maddie and I were on a call yesterday with 7 people from the Canadian Football League. And they are like fully invested in getting this season-long fantasy up. Like, they've already got a developer on board. They've already started going through all of the we sent them the rules that we use in our 2 CFL leagues. We sent them the roster construction that we use in our leagues, and they're just basically taking that and passing it along to the developer and being like, we want this on a website. So we met with them for about 50 minutes yesterday. They had a lot of good questions. And then the cherry on the top here was they said, okay, well, we're gonna take what we learned here today from you guys, and we're gonna take that back to the developer and continue to work on it. If we have any more questions, we'll reach out to you, and then as soon as we have the beta site up, we'll get it to you guys for testing. And Maddie and I were like, we're gonna be testing the CFL fantasy site. This is amazing. So, unless something falls off the rails next season, you should be able to go, I'm assuming, to CFL.ca. and sign up for either a 4-team league or a 6-team league with your buddies and do a draft and have the whole process throughout the season and make trades and all that stuff, which I think the CFL desperately needs. And it was very awesome, being a part of the early steps of it yesterday, buddy. It was very cool.
You guys are pioneers. You're pioneers of the CFL fantasy spaces. And I will tell you that, we'll have to get you on WST in and around that as the pioneer, and I will commit we will do a WST league for sure. And I would imagine there's plenty, especially here in Winnipeg where the CFL is so big.
And imagine the signups for this thing in Saskatchewan. 30% of the province should be playing CFL fantasy. Like I said this morning with Eric, we were talking about, I said, listen, we all love fantasy football. So now you're just going to get, another bonus 3 months of playing fantasy football through June, July, and August before you dive into it in the NFL. Like, who's fantasy football enthusiasts are going to want that rush for the other 3 months, regardless of league. So I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to help a lot.
Well, 2 things. First of all, for the developers, obviously there's amazing platforms now for NFL fantasy. So, I think most of the guts of what we want to do, as far as the,
what's out there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're big challenge, and certainly for CFL rosters, as you get close to the beginning of the season, is going to be just loading in all of the players and, but that should be relatively simple. You get the information, you crank it in there. Each player has a thing. And then, the ability to do online drafts, we do on the ESPN format or CBS or what a Yahoo, whatever you use. You got to be able to have that. And then, just go out there and have a blast. There is no downside to this. I'm very excited about it.
They're taking it very seriously. So
now let me hit you just with a couple. And I'm sure there's a lot of other fantasy guys like myself that haven't played. Let's just say we're doing a 6-team league.
Yeah.
What's the rosters? How many players are on the team?
So what we do is for the 6-man league. And shout out to our commissioner is in the chat over there, the Georgia satellite on the Nasty chat. He's our commissioner in our league. He actually lives in Atlanta, but he's our commissioner. He's flown up for a couple of events and stuff. He's hardcore. He commissions our league. So we go this year. What we did was or maybe it was last year we started it, but our so Maddie's league does the 4-team league, and they have a quarterback position. What we realized in the 6-team league is that with 9 starting quarterbacks, it can get a little thin. So what we did is that we turned the starting quarterback position into a super flex spot. So if for some reason, like you always want a quarterback in there, right? Because they score the most points. But if for some reason, your quarterback gets hurt or is on a bye and you don't have one of the other quarterbacks, you don't have to go and dress a guy that's a backup somewhere. You can throw a wide receiver or a running back in that spot for a week to get by, right? So that eliminates the issue. And it wasn't, Kev could probably bring it up, but I don't think the super flex was utilized as a super flex maybe more than once or twice during the season. So you go quarterback / super flex, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers. This is where it gets very Canadian and unique. You have a national spot. So you have a Canadian spot instead of like a flex spot. You have to have a Canadian in there. And then you have your kicker. Position. It could be Nathan Rourke. And then you could also start another quarterback. So what it does is it puts a lot of value on Canadians at the beginning of these drafts. So like this year, our draft went Nathan Rourke, Trey Ford, Brady Oliveira. Because you could have Brady Oliveira in your national spot and be starting James Butler as your running back, right? So the MLS's, Justin McInnis was drafted early. Like those Canadians, which I think in a Canadian Football League Fantasy League should carry a little bit of extra swag. So the national spot's fun, and then a kicker and a defense.
The Rourke must be like that reminds
Supernova.
me of Gretzky back in the day. Like, people were saying, okay, for hockey pools, you can take Gretzky goal
or assist, yeah.
Or Gretzky assists, because if one guy gets him, he's probably going to win.
And that's that's something that they could look at, in that the Canadian spot can be a running back or a receiver, but maybe it can't be a quarterback. But like in our 2 leagues this year, Eric won his league. He won Maddie's league. He had Nathan Rourke in his Canadian spot and then another quarterback in the quarterback spot. In our league, I didn't have Nathan Rourke and I won without Nathan Rourke. So, it's not like it's automatic you win with Nathan Rourke, but it helps picking first overall if you want to go with Nathan Rourke. So, it's a lot of fun. And then we go 5 on the bench. So, a 6-team league, you're starting a quarterback, a running back, 3 wide receivers, a national, a defense, and a kicker, and then you got 5 on your bench. Our waiver wire was, I wouldn't call it a good waiver wire every week, but there were players that you could pop in and use in your lineup pretty much every week. And I think, I think it'll be awesome to just play fantasy football, and then have some overlap in when both leagues are going on. But for that, June, July, August, for the, hundreds of thousands of people that play fantasy football, there's going to be another legitimate option for you that then you can turn on the TV and see if Kean Schaefer-Baker is going to get you 2 catches in the second half to help your fantasy team, which nobody really cared about to this point.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say if I was starting a league, I would make that national spot non-QB.
Non-QB?
Because really there's only one, and it is such a massive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like it really is. Like if you get the first pick, like you want, like the great thing about fantasy is that, especially when you're doing snake drafts, or at least with the NFL, listen, you're picking a top guy that you want. You got to wait a little while. There is a drop off. There's just one Nathan Rourke, and he's already the best player. So that would be an interesting. But I guess there'll be options. You'll be able to decide, how you want to.
I think they want to get it up and running, and then I think they might dive into some more of the intricacies of different roster formats and stuff as they work into like the second and third year, if it really kind of comes across as a success in the first year. So I know it's a big step, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And a huge shout out to the CFL for having Wannick and I involved in that. Hush, you want to go NHL first, or do you want to do some other NFL stuff?
The first thing I want to do is read this bit in the chat from the Big Uke. Shout out to Latino Heat. I had made a Hernan Salas 4-player point prop parlay last night at the last minute, and when I logged in this morning, the account was juicy.
Okay, Big Uke, are you saying that you followed Hernan's advice on the player props, or did you just pick a 4-pointer? Because that's what Hernan likes to do. Yeah, that's what
okay.
Yeah, because Nancy will like to hit. He hit that one for like 10-1 earlier in the week. So I wonder if you picked his own players, or if did Nanso give you 4 guys? Hey, what do you think? 780-218-99 And 99 is where you could get in. Georgia Satellite says, neither Dusty nor I drafted Rourke, and we both played in our championship. And then they also said that the usage of a non-QB in the Superflex spot maybe happened 3 or 4 times across all teams throughout the season. So, all right, there we go.
Hey, what are you guys in the middle of, like, the most Arctic cold of all time right now, or what? Where are you guys?
I don't think we're you guys, like, it's cold, but it's not. I mean, we've had worse this year. Not even. Let me see where we're at right now. I think it was like minus 22. Oh, it's minus 23 right now. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to get up to minus 17. Oh, I guess it was already at minus 17, so it must be going back down. Minus 30 overnight, then minus 16 tomorrow, minus 16, minus 6, minus 12. So we're not sitting here looking at 5 days of minus 30 during the day. Is that what you guys are at right now?
Dude.
Really?
So right now, the temperature is minus 30. The wind chill's minus 46. I'm just looking ahead, and it's a perfect day to have the Florida Panthers in town to play the Jets. It's just there's something beautiful about that. Tomorrow, high minus 25, low 32. Saturday, high of minus 29, low minus 38. And then Sunday, it's going to get up to minus 28. And then a little bit warmer Monday. I need it to be warm enough that planes can operate on Monday.
You got to get down to Costa Rica.
Yeah. And I've been a little nervous. I've been looking at, what's going on in Toronto. Being a bit of a weather geek, I've been diving in. Have you heard about this storm that's going to be just devastating, like the states from the Midwest all the way to the East Coast?
I know. I haven't even been following along American weather.
God, man. It is going, like, there are going to be, obviously, like, okay, getting 12 to 18 inches of snow in a lot of places will be insane, but I mean, it's snow. There is going to be a delineation between snow into ice, and they're saying that there's an ice storm that will be, I believe the term the National Weather Service used for it is catastrophic.
No.
Where, I mean, you're talking about upwards of half an inch of ice, maybe as much as an inch of ice in certain places. Like, think about how much an inch is.
An inch of ice, like, accumulating? Or
yeah, exactly. Like freezing, like rain coming down
right into ice.
Freezing, because like all this Arctic air from where we're at is moving down like really far south. So like the Carolinas, like all the way basically from Dallas to like Raleigh and Charlotte, there's going to be a band of areas that, and I mean, if you get half an inch of ice, which will happen probably once every 20, 30, 40 years, something like that. I mean, it's power outages, just power is done. And then you're talking about, it could be weeks in some places that they're without power. I mean, this isn't, like, oh, it's a ton of snow and people can't drive around. So I geeked out last night on a couple of.
Sounds like you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, if anyone's interested, I got a nice little tip. If you're, I mean, obviously we're YouTube guys. Discovered this guy last night, Max Velocity. Amazing handle. He did like a 4-hour live stream last night with all the European models and all this stuff going in, because it's very, like, the key thing about this is to figure out where the snow is going to stop and this ice is going to start, like the freezing rain.
Yeah.
So Atlanta, Georgia is right now, like they thought they might get half an inch. Now it might just be a little bit rain, but north of that, all through the Carolinas. And then like New England, if this AFC championship game was in New England as opposed to Denver, on Sunday, they're going to be getting 2 to 3 inches of snow an hour.
Holy smokes.
Like some places will get 18 inches to 2 feet.
So the NFL is loving these games in Denver and Seattle this weekend then.
Listen, they lucked out. I mean, listen, you know me, I've been to a couple of pretty bad weather games in KC, but it was more the cold. Like even Kansas City is going to get 3 to 6 inches. And I mean, that's right in the middle of the country. Everywhere from there east is going to be absolutely screwed. Like 10 to 12 inches in Cincinnati. Nashville's going to get it. Like, it's going to be wild to see. And obviously, we're Canadians. We've dealt with a lot of stuff. But ice storms are just a whole, like, they're 10 times worse than snowstorms. And the area that this thing is going to potentially take out could be one of the costliest. And unfortunately, I mean,
it seems like one of these storms that a movie will be made about in 10 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Didn't there is a movie, The Ice Storm, about Montreal from like 25 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want this movie. What's the other movie? The Day After Tomorrow. Remember the whole world like freezes, or the Northern Hemisphere freezes? Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal. Anyway, I want this movie. I want the movie about this storm in 10 years to start with like following you along, going to Costa Rica. You're on a plane, you take off, and then you're up on the plane having a good time, and then it zooms out the window and scrolls like down, and you're flying above it all, and it goes down into where this massive storm is. I think just shows the story of a man who's here for a good time, and then there's this massive storm below the whole time.
Oh, yeah. The Ice Storm. Oh, a 1997 film. I guess it's based on some whatever. This is how they describe it. IMDb. In 1973 suburbia, several middle-class families experimenting with substance abuse and the swinging lifestyle find their lives spinning beyond their control. And then the ice storm comes in, and I don't know, Christina Ricci's in this one, very young in that one. One other thing, just non-sports related, while we're on this topic. Are you a big Google Earth guy?
I would say no. Like, I'm familiar with it. I've zoomed in sometimes on like the actual land view, but yeah, but no, it's not like I'm on there. I watched, for a while when I was first going on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account, but I'll go on there. There was this guy who would pop up all the time on my feed that could see a picture of anywhere in the world and like guess within 10 kilometers of where it was.
Yeah, that's the GeoGuessr game. It is so much fun. If you've never tried it.
Okay, I've never tried it.
It's called GeoGuessr.
Okay.
And yeah, you play against people, you guess where the place is, and it measures by distance who is closer, and you win points. It's really cool. You learn a lot, about landscapes and different countries and stuff like that. But yeah, I know the guy you're talking about, and he is, it's like a sixth sense.
It's ridiculous. Like, I felt like it's rigged, like he's cheating somehow. It was nuts.
Big Uke's a GeoGuessr guy. Hell yeah. We should go toe to toe sometime, Uke.
But do you do this on an app and then play against the guy?
I believe you can do it on your phone. I do it. I just, whatever. I got it on this computer. And sometimes I'll be screwing around. I'll have something on YouTube and I'll play some games. But I've also been, I don't know why lately, I've been just doing like going to particular places and then doing like kind of exploring on Google Earth. Like, for whatever reason, I went something that with Jalen Rose. I was on his Wikipedia. You can just get down these rabbit holes. He's from Detroit. So I went in and then I started exploring all these old high schools that have been abandoned in Detroit because all the people have left. Like, some really, really wild stuff. But the one thing I did last night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, tried to do an exploration via Google Earth of North Korea, the last bastion. So, and I was surprised. You can't do good street view in North Korea. Yeah. I don't think Kim Jong-un allowed the Google cars in to kind of run around it. But yeah, I was checking out all these sights and sounds of Pyongyang and the one society that is kind of separated from everybody else. So even Google Earth even has some pretty good pics and info on North Korea. You really can travel the globe from your own house in 2026.
As this is a betting program, I'm going to say I probably had the odds at about plus 1,000,000 to 1 for you to come on here today and say, yeah, last night I was Google mapping North Korea. out of nowhere.
Hey, Big Maple. I do that too, Huss. I caught myself counting yurts in Mongolia on Google Maps the other day.
Oh, you guys. How do you find the time for this?
I should do that. Should just be a special stream on my own channel. Let's go exploring today.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this. You with no plan, but like just on YouTube, there's like half the screen's your face, the other half's the world, and you're just randomly going and looking at shit. I'd watch it. I think I'd watch it, man. But you're talking the whole time. Like I think that would be funny. I think that would be funny.
That'll be a project going.
That'll be good.
What's up with the Oilers heading into this game against the Pens tonight? They can't win 3 in a row.
They can't win 3 in a row. I mean, it's by all accounts, it's impossible. Like I don't know. But like they win 3 out of every 4 recently, but they just can't win 3 in a row, right? So if you could put together 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, maybe end up taking a bit of a run at the top of the division, right? But they can't do it. Like they go through the weekend and they roll over 2 teams, Vancouver, St. Louis. Let's be honest, 2 pretty brutal teams, but they beat them by a combined score of 11-0. You get New Jersey coming in on the second half of a back-to-back after playing in Calgary. And they didn't look like they wanted, like the Oilers didn't look like they wanted. The Oilers looked like they played the night before too for the first 40 minutes. They're down 2-1. They go into the third. They finally realize like, oh damn, we better get going or we're not going to win this game. They outshoot the Devils 13-3 in the third period. Jake Allen stands on his head and they lose 2-1. So same situation tonight. Pittsburgh played last night. They're coming in the second half of a back-to-back. So you would hope that the Edmonton Oilers, now the Oilers have dominated Pittsburgh over the last 3 years, basically. Like they have won 8 of the last 9 against the Penguins. The one game that they didn't win was last year. It was last year. They lost 5-3, but in their 8 wins that they've had in the last 9 over Pittsburgh, the Oilers have scored at least 4 goals in every single game. Like they've scored 5, 6, 7, 6, 4, 6. So, they score goals in the Pittsburgh. Even the game they lost was 5-3. So they score a lot of goals when they play the Pittsburgh Penguins. So this could be a recipe for success. Leon Draisaitl should be back shortly. He's not back tonight though. And Tristan Jarry is going to start. We thought it might be Ingram, but Tristan Jarry is going to start tonight against Pittsburgh. Stuart Skinner played in Calgary last night, so it should be Shelov's tonight for the Penguins.
Oh,
so
really? That's probably good for Skid. Like he doesn't need to be. I mean, how would he be? Like, will they do something? Should do something.
I would think both him and Kulak will be mentioned in a little 30-second tribute video, like "Welcome back to Rogers Place, Stuart Skinner and Brett Kulak," and there'll be a round of cheers. I mean,
Skinner won some big games. I know you guys basically ran him out of town, but he won some pretty big games for that hockey team. I mean, you go to any other market for a goalie that went to 2 consecutive Cup finals. And even though the circumstances, the way the trade went, I think everyone felt that went to be done. I would think
it had to be done. He was ready to go too.
And he's a local guy too. Yeah. Actually, if they don't do something really nice, particularly
they did something for Connor Brown, man. They're going to do something for Skinner and Kulak. So there'll be something tonight for him. I mean, we remember he already played the Oilers since he left. And he was standing 6 feet away from the entire team celebrating Leon Draisaitl's 1,000 points. So
that was I have not felt as bad for a player in the NHL as I have for Stewie Skins in that moment in a long time. I mean,
hard not to feel bad for him there. Like
everything into it, and I mean, it was like, what was it, like 4 days after he was traded?
Yeah, it was 3 days, maybe 4 days. Yeah, that was tough.
I'm thinking Connor McDavid, Canadian greats.
I've got the one already put together. Oilers money line, McDavid 2+ points, Crosby with a point. Crosby's insane. Like we're gonna get into it on 2 guys and goalie a little bit later on, but Sidney Crosby is in his 21st season, and he's on pace for 90 points, and we're sort of just like, but you're just sort of like that's not normal. A guy in his 21st season shouldn't still maybe be a top 10 player. He's 14th in league scoring. He's going to be on the first line for the Canadian Olympic team and the captain. Like for 21 years, Huss. This is not like he's playing his 21st season. He might get 50 points. He's on pace to score 40 goals and have 90 points. I don't know if we talk about it enough around the league that Sidney Crosby's in his 21st year and is still one of the top 12 players in the National Hockey League at worst. Like, it's crazy to me.
It's just incredible. He's just the best. As an individual, as a leader, there's literally no knocks. Like, is there anyone on the planet that doesn't like Sidney Crosby? I don't think so.
I'll say when he first came in, I don't know why. I was like a pro OV guy, and I was like, oh, Sid, OV's better. But I would probably say, I don't know, probably about 2019. I just got to accept how great this dude is. Like, it's phenomenal what he's doing, and it's possible to think both of them are great players. Like, he's like a model citizen as well. He's a great two-way player. There's no weakness to his game. He can do everything you need him to do. He's still elite offensively. He's been a great leader for 20 bloody years. He kind of, he's low-key, flies under the radar, from a spotlight perspective. I don't know if they ever really utilized him from a National Hockey League perspective as a true face of the league, like maybe as much as they should have. Maybe he didn't want that. But he's like perfect. He's like the perfect hockey player, man.
These guys are going to be compared forever. And it speaks to how great both of them are, but especially Sid, that Alex Ovechkin is the all-time leading goal scorer in the National Hockey League. And I don't think anybody would take Ovi over Sid for their career.
It'd be really tough to do it. And I love Ovechkin, but like,
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And Ovi's personality and stuff sort of got out there a little bit more. But Sid has consistently been the best for 20 years. Ovi, listen, the greatest goal scorer of all time, goes without saying. But when you talk about what goes into winning, leadership, everything, Sid, I think Ovi really sort of had a renaissance, later on in his career, obviously won the cup and then got the records, but from start to finish, which brings me to the question, how long is this guy going to play? I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Sid can play for four more years.
For sure.
He's in year 21. You'd almost be expecting it might be time to wind it down, but he's going to have 90 points. He only has two. He only won the Art Ross twice in his career, but for the last, so his years 18, 19, 20, and now 21, 93 points, 94 points, 91 points, and he's got 56 points in 49 games. So he's going to have 90 points again, which is, and the weird thing is that before this 90-point run, he'd only topped 90 points once in the 8 years before. So, he's just as effective now as he was in 2020, or even better than he was then. He's got more points this year than he did in 2014-15. I'd be shocked if he calls it quits in the next 3 years. He's just that good.
He won't. And you know what? We're probably we'll call it 3 years away. Well, 3 years away from getting to 2,000 for his career, and probably about 2 at this pace, 2 and a bit. Basically by, this season plus 2 more, he'll probably number 2 all time.
Yeah, he'll be the second player ever to get to 2,000 points. We were talking about him this morning, and Trev said, what's he playing for? And I said, they're not probably going to win another cup, and I don't think he's going to go play anywhere else, but I think it'd be pretty damn cool to say that you hit 2,000 points in the National Hockey League and only Wayne Gretzky scored more. I'd play for that.
I don't think you can say that this guy isn't going to win another cup, even in Pittsburgh. If you think that he's going to
I'd be pretty surprised. I'd be pretty surprised if that happens.
It's sport. They've already been stockpiling all these picks and young players and everything. In a couple of years, they're going to have a bunch of guys on ELCs, young players, presumably contributing. And they've still got one of the best players in the world. I guess if he falls off and isn't playing at this level, but I actually think that he'll be pretty damn close. just with the athlete he is.
Do you think there's another
he's
playoff run at least in there somewhere for Sid?
It might be this year.
Well, it could be this year. I mean, they haven't made the playoffs in 3 years. He's been a 90-point guy.
But exactly, and you've seen what's happened to that team. I mean, nobody thought that they would be in. I mean, again, another tribute to just how great this guy is. Like, they've got a bunch of Hall of Famers on this team. Malkin's towards the end, although Malkin actually has, had a great start to the season, was a big part. But I mean, Letang and Carlson are out right now. Like, they're not even playing.
Yeah, they're day to day. I think both of them
guys that you look that are not really big game breakers. So I kind of think that Dubas is doing a lot of his work last year and this year right now, and they will do everything they can to contend before he hangs it up. But I do think that he's got enough time that they can.
Well, I hope they do for his sake. I hope that he just doesn't miss the playoffs for like his last 6 years. Hopefully he's able to get back in there and we can watch playoff Sidney Crosby again. Huss, let's get into this slate here. Here's our starting goalies for tonight. The Blue Jackets are home against Dallas. Jet Greaves is confirmed. Casey DeSmith will go for Dallas. Montembeault will get the start for the Habs. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen for the Sabres. Chicago is in Carolina. Spencer Knight's confirmed to start for Chicago. Freddie Anderson listed as unconfirmed right now for the Canes. Korpisalo will go for the Bruins. Akira Schmid for the Golden Knights. UC Saros versus James Reimer. Ottawa is in Nashville. Helly will go for the Jets. Tarasov is going to start for the Florida Panthers. Tristan Jarry confirmed for the Edmonton Oilers. Should be Sheelos for the Penguins. Gustafsson will start for the Wild. Talbot listed as unconfirmed for the Detroit Red Wings. Huss, let's put together a little 3-gamer here tonight in the National Hockey League. What do you like?
Well, you know what? It's funny. I mean, we were just gassing up Sid, but I think the Oilers, considering coming off a loss, I expect the Oilers to win 2, lose 1, win
forever.
2, lose 1 the rest of the way. They better not get down 3-1 in a playoff series.
They've had. Yeah, you're right. They've had 9 2-gamers. They've had 9 chances to extend this thing to 3 games, and they just can't do it. It's bizarre. So the Oilers line's -175 right now. If we want to put that in there, I mean, I'd be okay with that.
That is one.
How about the Jets? I don't want to get on the Jets tonight, but what do you think about the Jets? It's basically a pick'em. Jets at home here. I'm looking at -110 right now for the Jets. Just your thoughts on that game quickly. Yeah,
it is a pick'em on either side.
Yeah.
The Jets have historically, stepped up pretty well against the Panthers. I think especially, since Maurice left and showed up there, they've actually, I think the first 2 years, the Jets went 4-0 against them. They might have lost a game to them last year. You know what? They showed a lot on Tuesday night. I was worried that we might see a team that finally looked like they were defeated after they lost that game that they had to have against Chicago. And listen, it was no Picasso. I mean, they got in at 2 a.m. the night before with St. Louis sitting there, but power play clicked. It worked well. And, the crowd's really been behind them too. I mean, they have not turned on the team at all, which has been nice. So, the problem is the Panthers are a pretty desperate team right now. I mean, they're out of the playoffs. I mean, they're 5 games above 500, but there's so many teams in that mix. Every one of these games is so important. And they've got the most Olympians of any team in the NHL. So I'm sure Maurice knows the importance of stacking some of these points right now. I mean, really, really tough pick, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do, I won't be playing it. I could give you an argument for the Jets in this one, but listen, that's been a losing bet more often than not this year. So they're sort of hard to trust. Dallas had a nice win in their last game. They pumped the Bruins.
Yeah, they did 6-2.
And now they head over to take on Columbus. And listen, Columbus had that great start with Bones. So what they won the first 3 games, lost to the Sens 4-1 at home. This is going to be a real tough one. And I don't mind Dallas as a road favorite. And I mean, listen, that one's very close to a pick 'em right now.
Yeah, it's pretty good value. Pretty good value on Dallas. It's -116 right now.
Did you say Ottinger was in or just Smith?
No, it's DeSmith. But also Dallas is 15-6-6 on the road. Like they've been a pretty good road team so far.
Oh, dude. I mean, like if it wasn't for Colorado, we'd be talking about Dallas is, right there, although Tampa is sort of taking that off. But Dallas is a team that I don't mind. the Wings had that win last night in Toronto. I think this is sort of a tough spot for them going into Minnesota. Minnesota's not going to be, I shouldn't say not going to be pleased. They lost 4-3 to the Habs after winning those last two on the road. But I mean, I've got a lot of time for Minnesota, although they're still waiting for Eriksson Ek to come back. I mean, it's a big.
Detroit's won 7 of their last 8 as well.
Dude, they're just, but as they say, you know what? This is a tough spot for them.
It is.
You know, having played last night, traveling to Mini today. I think I'd probably lean Wild just, you know, with the circumstances surrounding it. And my Sabres are looking good.
I'm curious about this Buffalo-Montreal game, actually. I think I like the over in it, but
that, you know what? That's something I can get behind. Montreal overs.
Montreal's hit 3 overs in a row, 8 goals, 11 goals, 7 goals. Buffalo has hit over. Oh my goodness. Buffalo has hit the over in 8 of their last 9 games, and the over's been at 6 or 6.5. So it's not like they're milking these 5.5s.
No.
And they played a week ago, and it was 5-3. Their other scores from like their last head-to-heads over the last little while: 6 goals, 7 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, 12 goals. I like that over in the Montreal Buffalo game.
You know what? I think we have to. I know we usually will just go with regular picks, but why don't we do that? Why don't we take the over in the Habs game, and then if we put it with, well, we could go Minnesota at 147. The Oilers are just a little bit more, to be honest. I almost think that Oiler number
ahead of the Minnesota number.
Yeah, and then if we put Dallas with them, like Dallas, Edmonton, and over in the Montreal Buffalo, I'm seeing about plus 455 before a boost.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. It'll probably get it boosted closer to 5-1. So that's what we'll do. We'll put those. We'll pull those together. We'll take that over in that Buffalo Montreal game. And,
hey, just while we're talking Buffalo for a minute, you see that Josh Doan deal?
Yeah.
Yarmo
good,
doing some good work.
Good payday for the kid too. Like, I think it's a deal that probably works for both sides, don't you?
Well, listen, he's worth that money right now, and he's young. I mean, I think that this is a deal. I think that it's going to age very, very well for the Sabres. And, you know, you look at that, you know, everyone was all over them when they traded Paterka. Doan's got more points than Paterka does this year, and they've got Rasmussen on the blue line. Like, I know Kevin in accounting got really killed for most of his moves as the GM of the Sabres, and they've been on this run since he got fired. But Kevin Adams, actually, when you look at this, like he's probably just sitting there going, "You got to be kidding me." We go through all this, we just start winning. Yarmo comes in and is the hero, like as if the GM changes anything with the team.
Unless the players really hated the other guy, and they're just like, "I'm not playing for this guy."
I guess
maybe that's what it was. Yeah, they got Kesselring and Doan, former Oiler Kesselring for Paterka. Yeah,
he was on the Oilers.
He was on the Oilers. He got moved in the Nick Bjugstad trade a few years back.
Huh?
Yeah, it was Kesselring and a 3rd rounder for Bjugstad and Cam Dineen, who's an American League defenseman.
Was that a deadline deal?
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you right now the exact date on it. Yeah, it was a March 2nd deal. So yeah, it would have been like right around the deadline. So what's coming up on WST, Huss?
Well, we're going to be getting ready for this game tonight. It's always fun when Maurice comes to town. So we'll hear from Pomo, Arnie, and get ready for the game. We're also going to talk a little football. I know we think of Rod Paterson as a man of many hot takes when it comes to the CFL, a little bit of NFL, but Rod, now that he's a Florida guy, actually hosts the Cats and Bolts podcast.
I've heard it called the most popular hockey podcast in the state of Florida.
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure the competition, but we love Rod. So he's going to come on. We'll chop it up with Rod for a bit. And our usual Jets guest, we'll have the latest to set up the game. And then, we'll talk a little bit more about the lines at the end of the program, and then get ready to drop the puck tonight. and just hopefully stay not frozen.
Yeah, you stay warm, buddy, and get those picks nicely warmed up for AFC, NFC Championship weekend. We'll dive into that tomorrow, my man.
Yeah, only 2 games. We're going to have to maybe lean on a few couple props as well.
Couple player props. I've already been researching some player props. So
we'll come locked and loaded for a championship weekend tomorrow.
All right, man. We'll see you later. There you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. And check out WST over on YouTube as well. And that show's going to get rolling in about 8 minutes' time. A couple of things that have been sent over to the crew at Play Alberta. All right, so let's lay this out. We got the Oilers to win. McDavid 2+ points. Crosby point plus 241. McDavid power play points boosted from -110 to plus 100. Other things that have been recently sent over to the Play Alberta team. Jay's play of the day coming up. Don't have the number on it yet. Should be posted on the site shortly. Oilers money line, McDavid over 0.5 assists. Hyman over 2.5 shots on goal. And then this one, and I did tweak it a little bit. You might end up thanking me tonight. But Cusworth went it into a parlay. I made an executive decision. Oilers money line, Stars money line, Habs Sabres over 5.5 goals. I moved it from 6.5 down to 5.5. That way, if we get that 4-2 game, we're not all sitting here going, oh, damn it. And we're going to get a boost on it anyway, so we'll make up some of what we're losing on that. So Habs, Sabres, over 5.5 goals. Stars money line, Oilers money line. That'll be popping up as a lock shot partner parlay over on the EST
specials page.
Do you ever
bet the Oilers to lose?
Not on the air.
Okay. Well, I do.
Not on the air. I don't bet them to lose.
Because they can't win every game, Dustin.
No, they can't win every game.
Well, I don't think it's. I think it's fair if you
think it's reasonable to be like, I'm betting on them to lose tonight.
Like that scheduled loss. What was it? Philly after that.
You know what we will do, like for early bird bets and stuff. Essentially, if we don't think the Oilers are going to win, we just don't put them on the card.
Don't put them on the
card.
Like
I wouldn't bet on the other team to win. We don't put them on the card. Maybe you play a total or you just load up props.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I'd ever really like bet on the other side. I'd rather just let it go and try to
put it on the ticket.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
I will say this though. I have, like in the last few falls, I've made quite a bit of money.
Me too.
Fading the oil early.
Yeah. Because you can almost like, they're kind of easy to read. Like, you kind of know when they're going to lay an egg, right? Like Gager's called, I think, every last 5 loss.
Gager's like some Oilers robot from the future that's been sent back and knows all the results.
And the point is to make money, right? It doesn't mean we don't like the Oilers.
No.
It's just,
I mean, you want to cash bets?
What did I say yesterday on EST Afternoons? I said, sprinkle some on Vancouver. And everybody's like, you're an idiot. What happened?
You know what you are? And Hernan, can I just throw this out there? And then we got to get going. But you're like a couple weeks away from co-hosting the Lock Shop.
No, I'm not.
I think you are. I think you might bet more on the NHL than any of us.
I bet a lot on the NHL because I make out okay.
Yeah.
I suck at the NFL, basketball, anything.
But you do good at hockey.
Hockey's
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we found Lock Shop host number 6.
There's due.
You love them. They're due. Yeah. Hey, man, sometimes they are. That's why it's a saying. All right, we've got 2 guys in the goalie coming up next. We're going to dive into some more of this Sidney Crosby stuff. We'll do a little hired or fired as well. I've got the top 10 1-2 punches in the NHL since 1980. We'll see who I'm missing. We'll get into that. And Stuart Skinner has been how good in his last 7 games? We're gonna get into that as well. We'll dive into line combinations. Tristan Jarry will start against his former club, not Ingram. So we'll get into that on 2 guys in goal. That's gonna do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight, and we will talk to you tomorrow.